So hello and welcome. This is Bambi Thompson, and I am your brain coach for success acceleration and anxiety transformation. And my whole thing is talking about how do you take care of your energy, which I call energy hygiene, and how do you mojo yourself up so that your success is a lot easier. So I use the unstoppable combination of neuroscience and energy healing and success strategies and healthy chocolate, which is a high antioxidant wellness system, and the law of attraction to kind of grab your energy, clear it, get it clean, make it really big, and then laser focus it towards where you want to go to get your goals achieved much more faster, much easier. So can you, an off-topic thing. Hang on one second here. Okay. So this guy has no face. He's asking an off-topic thing. So I'm going to
make a choice.
Flip him out of my thing because he's throwing me off, right? So he's a troll. That was a perfect example of a troll. I went up. He said, "Can I ask that?" Like, I'm not going to pay attention to you. But the way you know if it's a troll, hang on. I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to ask him if I wanted to like have sex with him because I have a name like Bambi. So, you know, I could be a full dancer. This is the problem. It's a name like Bambi. When you're out in the world, you do that some funky shit. Okay, I'm going back to the recording. I don't know. Okay, anyway. So getting back on track here after a troll visited. So the whole thing about your energy hygiene is the bigger your energy field is, the more powerfully you can magnetize into your life what it is that you want. So I have two other people in the room with me today, which is awesome. Tam Veilleiux is one of my dearest friends, and also we're in a mastermind together, and we're very lucky to live close enough together to be able to get together and play. And so Tam, would you tell us about what you do and you know, where people can find you?
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Bambi. Nice to see your beautiful face. And everyone, I am Tam, and Tam I like to say. I am a transformational life coach. I help people manage their mind, body, spirit systems for maximum results. It's all about transformation and finding their happiness faster. People can find me at choosebigchange.com, and I'll drop it into the chat box there.
Great. Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Yeah. Okay, so Lisa is also with us, and Lisa is new to my world, but Tam, she is a friend of yours, right?
Yeah.
So Lisa, tell us about you.
Oh, hi. Thank you so much for inviting me. This is my first ever blab, and I'm just finding my way around, so thank you. So I'm Lisa Kent. I'm an EFT tapping practitioner based in the UK, and I have two hats, if you like. So one of my hats is that I work with female entrepreneurs who struggle with feelings of self-doubt and self-worth and all the other emotions that come up when you're working for yourself. And so I help them get over those obstacles and those fears of being seen and self-doubt, wondering if they're doing the right thing. And I just sort of help them get over those humps so that they can actually get some forward momentum again. So that's one of my hats. And the other hat is actually I work with other EFT practitioners. So I'm actually an EFT business coach. So one of the things that EFT practitioners struggle with specifically is marketing. And it happens to be one of my passions. I'm a bit of a marketing geek. So I actually work with other EFT practitioners to help them get their message out there and it just sort of help them to become more visible.
Awesome.
I do write a newsletter as well for the other EFT practitioners based around marketing, and that is on www.lisakent.com, and I'll put that in the comments.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about energy hygiene, and that's my catchphrase for really being diligent in making sure that you are clean and clear of those low, slow frequencies of, you know, anger, frustration, self-doubt, insecurity, anxiety. I'm an anxiety specialist, so that's a big part of my work, is helping people master anxiety and get their brain reined in so it doesn't throw them there too much. And we all know in the journey of success that sabotage and anxiety and fear and self-doubt is a constant companion, right? And you up-level yourself, you're going to be all on charge one day, and the next day you wake up and you're like, holy shit, what am I doing? What have I done? You know, you're freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And so the energy hygiene that I talk about is the ability to clean that off yourself and get yourself back into your mojo. And I talk a lot about MojoMagic. That's kind of my hashtag, MojoMagic, is being able to be powerful and create magic in your business, in your life, achieve your goals faster. So definitely EFT is one of those things that is, it's always, if I have somebody who gets my Success Acceleration Jumpstart package with me, that's like a very consolidated, intense month working with me on one issue. It's like, if I could break free of this one thing, then, I'd be really moving forward in my life or my business. And if I only have one tool to teach, it's EFT. So tell us, you guys, for people who don't know EFT, I'm going to let you guys explain it and share, a little bit about that, because it will motivate people to follow up and kind of master that.
Lisa,
okay. Do you want to, Tam? Or actually, because one of the things that I find interesting is when I explain what EFT is, there's kind of different sides of the fence that people sit on. So some people are very scientifically minded and scientifically based, and some people just really love working with energy. Now, in my view, I do find it energy work. And so the way I explain it is being very much linked to the ancient art of acupuncture, which goes back thousands of years. And the easiest way for people to understand is if I explain that EFT is very much like acupuncture without the needles, because you're not actually putting needles into the points on your body, you're just stimulating the points by tapping them. So they're actually points on the face and the upper body. And the idea of this is to actually remove energy blockages, particularly around very stressful responses, which can be physiological stress responses as well. And in my experience, it just seems to calm down a lot of those things that cause people anxiety. And so it's kind of mixed in with a lot of Western psychology, because we actually do talking and tapping at the same time. So we tune into maybe difficult memories or difficult feelings whilst we're tapping. And the whole idea is just to reduce the level of anxiety around those different triggers that people have when they find themselves in certain situations or tackling certain things in their lives.
Very cool.
What do you think, Tam?
I think you really did a good job explaining it. And it is tricky because some people really don't understand the energy piece. Bambi, you and I have had that conversation. Not everybody can go there. And you and I are all about the unicorn magic. So I like to say science and spirituality have been having, an illicit affair for a long time. Science and spirituality have really always been one thing. EFT is like that magic tool that we three all use that combines energy and science, because what we know is that emotions get trapped in our nervous system. That's been proven. Emotions affect our physiology. So emotions are the more spiritual piece, and then our bodies are the science. So science and spirituality have come together. EFT has come together to help us eliminate all those emotions that are trapped in our physiology, in our science. I love EFT.
So you guys can explain to me, I've had incredible success with people around, we're talking about emotional things, which totally, I get that. But tell me why it works, because I've had success with a little girl who was allergic to eggs. And in one 15-minute session, I wiped that out. I had an alcoholic who in one session took away the craving for her most magical elixir that she was blacking out with literally every day. And also being able to program in waking up time. So it's like EFT is such an interesting thing, because I've just achieved amazing miracles with people. I'm like, hey, shit, you want to be a masterful painter? Let's tap on that and see what happens. I mean, it's just crazy stuff. I try it and it works. It's crazy. So tell me about why Why can I get rid of a food allergy that fast? What is with that?
I didn't know if first. I'll tell you my opinion. No, I'll tell you my thoughts on that. I believe that, I believe that our BS, our belief systems, are what train us in our reality. So if this little girl has been told time and again, you have an allergy to eggs make you sick. And then suddenly somebody comes along who is saying, we're just going to let that go. We're just going to decide that that's not the truth for us. Well, my goodness, you can shake that out of her cellular structure and let her believe differently, that maybe eggs don't really harm me. I really do believe in the mind-body connection as it relates to our health. And an allergy is a health issue. When you stop the unconscious mind from believing you're allergic to eggs, your body can react differently and handle eggs. I've had that magical experience. Probably my most satisfying moment as a coach was stopping a woman from drinking. Like you said, one session, first session, she never went back to drinking. I blew my own mind with that one. I didn't know. I did not know. And talk about my client hangs up the phone and I go and have a good cry. I mean, wow, there's power in EFT. If you are done with bad habits, if you are done with pain, EFT is the answer in my mind.
I'd like to back up what Tam said as well there. And Tam, you did say the word truth. And I think that actually working with EFT and myself, because I use it on myself all the time, but also with my clients as well, I do find that it actually helps to reveal the truth about a situation. Without all the beliefs and the things that we've been told and the things that our parents have said and the things that you may have observed in the world. I find that it sort of strips everything back. And like you were saying, if somebody wants to master something, there are probably a lot of little things in their mind that are going around about whether they'd ever be able to learn to play the piano. And that's come from just tons and years of conditioning and who knows what else. And I find that EFT just gets you down to the truth. And then at least you've got a starting point of something that is based in reality rather than something that's based on these beliefs.
Yeah, absolutely. And that comes back to the whole energy hygiene thing, is that if we have the capability, the tools, and there's tons of tools out there. I teach lots of tools. We all do. If you have the capability to recognize there's an energy in my body as I think about this goal, the big, hairy, audacious thing that's on your to-do list every day, right? One of the first things that I'll do and ask myself, and it's not mine, but I remember, somebody mentioned this, and I wish I could remember who so I could give credit. But they said when you feel that energetic, this is what I'm talking about. It's that thing in your stomach where your energy goes from here to, right? If your energy's going down, what happens is, you fire off your amygdala, you've got your higher consciousness, your higher order thinking drops, you're farting out cortisol into your bloodstream, and it's creating stress in your body. It's wreaking havoc with your ability to think clearly. If you have the capacity to turn that off really quickly before you are squirting off too much cortisol into your body, then you can regain your composure and regain your mojo again. And so one of the things that he said, which really I've been doing this week and it absolutely works, is when I think of a task that I want to do where I get that feeling, I immediately stop and I ask myself, what's hard about that? And it's like I immediately feel that it go to, because I can't really figure out what's hard about that. Think about it. Okay, making a sales call. It's like people don't want to pick up the phone and make a sales call. It's like, what's hard about that? You're picking up the phone, you're dialing, you're having a conversation. You do that 1,000 times a day. Yeah. Why are you giving so much, value to that particular action? Well, I don't want them to, help me feel, I don't want them to think that I'm greedy, right? All right, let's just bang off. What are the things that our clients say to us that they don't want to do? Those beliefs that are hammering away at our mind that make us not want to pick up the phone and do a sales call.
They don't want to be pushy.
Yeah.
What are our clients doing?
I mean, what is somebody? What? And you? I mean, all of us. What are the things? I don't want to be pushy. I don't want them to think I'm greedy. Yeah. Right. What are the different?
Pushy. Yeah. Pushy is the big one for me. Like, I don't want to seem pushy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pushy, and also handling rejection.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't want to be rejected.
Yeah.
So when I ask myself, I go to that place of, okay, so why do I not want to do that? I'll list those things and then I'll say, but if I'm coming from a place of service and love and unattachment, I don't give a shit whether they buy my stuff or not. I just want them to know that there's a resource out here that might be for them, might be for somebody else. Doesn't matter. But if I don't tell them that I'm here with these abilities, these skill sets, these products, these programs, they don't know. And you don't know who is out there praying every day for the very solution that you offer.
Your phone call, right?
So one of the ways to do your energy hygiene and go from here to back in your mojo and get that mojo magic going is to ask, what's hard about that? Okay, so I'm afraid of rejection, and then step into, but I am being of service. And what if I tell myself the news story that these people actually have been broadcasting out to the universe with their thoughts and their prayers and their energies? They really need anxiety support. They really need a solution so that they can be more present in their business with more confidence, right? They really need to be able to get a good night's sleep, whatever it is. They really need to lose weight, whatever it is that we all offer people. If I go into picking up the phone with that energy of love and service going, you might be the one that has been praying for me and what I offer at 3 a.m. I don't know. And if it's not you, I bet you know somebody who is asking for that very thing. And could you connect me to them?
Right.
People are always willing to do that. They're like, I'm good, I'm good. And I can instantly, the second, as an intuitive, the second somebody speaks, I know whether they got their mojo so rolling that they don't need me at all. They are not my client. They're already like, boom, they're in it, right? But they know a ton of people that are my client. And so if you can go into that whole, that whole energy field of I am being of service, I am being here in love, and those people dialed me in, I am an answer to their prayers, suddenly you get excited to pick up the phone. So that is how you get the mojo magic rolling. And that is when you do that energy hygiene. And if you can't get rid of that, then you do your tapping. And it's like all this freak out that I feel about picking up the phone. Why am I so afraid? Isn't it interesting that I'm so afraid? I just choose to let it go. You tap, you do your thing, and you just talk about what you're feeling. Do the tapping to clear it. And it's like suddenly you're in a whole different energy field.
Yeah. It works. It does work.
Yeah. So all right. So for tapping things, what are your favorite phrases or affirmations or tools? It's anything. What do you do? What do you ladies do to get that energy of success amplified in your body so that you can stay in action with traction? What are your favorite things to do? Tam, what are your favorite things?
Well, really for amping myself up, my biggest and my most favorite thing is just tapping in the good stuff. And it's really something to the effect of, I am joy, I am light, I am love, I am success. And it's tapping through, I am joy, I am light, I am love, I am success. It's safe for me to be successful. And then I use this, and it's peace. And for me, it's always, it's the 5 points. I do short form tapping. I think Lisa does long form tapping, but I believe in layering on the goodness, layering on the happy and the sparkle and the shine. So those are my go-to phrases, really. I am are your creative words in life, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
How about you, Lisa?
I actually, the funny thing is when I'm tapping, I don't always choose my own phrases. Sometimes I actually go to other EFT practitioners for inspiration of what to tap on, because sometimes I find other people's use of language can be maybe a bit more expansive than my own, and maybe they'll get me to tap on things that I haven't considered myself. So one of my favorite go-tos is an EFT coach called Brad Yates. You probably know Brad. Yeah. And he has this huge library of tapping videos on YouTube, and I absolutely love them. I can guarantee that when I go and pick one, I always pick the right one for me. But going back to affirmations, I like to work on affirmations with my clients, and the best one I've had yet is a client. She got the most amazing buzz out of saying, "I am made of magic." And we had a really lovely affirmation. We loved it. Yeah.
That's such a important statement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and we are made of magic.
We are.
We're so connected in our ego mind and our human consciousness, and that's what I have had so much fun with, this whole access consciousness thing. Of what else is possible? What what needs to happen? Who do I need to become to whatever it is that I want to do? What would it take for me to believe? And it's kind of like realizing that we're just a mass of energy. And if we can say what energy, space, and consciousness, and I wasn't getting the space part of that. I didn't understand what that meant until today. I was working on a physical thing.
Yeah.
What energy, space, and consciousness do I need to be to have? Last night I was on a radio show and the guy was talking about, generating $1 million in his business. And he knows that he can do it, but he just has this this little niggling voice of, no, you can't, no, you can't. And he gets a contraction if he gets into it. And I said, so change it out. Instead of saying, I am now creating $1 million in my business, which is like, oh, no, I'm not, right? Bullshit. And you're totally like, your ego just starts screaming at you. I said, so then ask, what would it take for me to generate $1 million in my business? Who do I, how can I become the person who can? And I said, what happens in your energy field when you say it that way? And he goes, it's radically different. It's like instead of contracting and the ego saying no, it's like suddenly I'm open to possibility.
I feel like I'm sorry to say, access consciousness is like handing it over to your unconscious mind. That's what I feel about that. Like you present this question and boom, the unconscious mind starts working on that. Like, how can I make that real? I love access consciousness. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like the subconscious mind has all the answers of all time, space, and realities and dimensions. Right. It's all like right here. And we just have this like physical body that we think is physical, but it's not really physical. And so yes, when you get into that, and I was having an interesting time trying to wrap my head around, and you guys tell me what you think this statement is. What was she saying? We're quoting Corey Michelle does some really cool stuff with access consciousness. And it was, what energy, space, and consciousness do I need to be? So I was like, I get what energy do I need to be to, attract $10,000 more into my bank account. Okay. I get that. I understand that I have to be a certain energy field. I have to be a certain magnetic attraction, which is going to come from my beliefs. What space? That was the thing I was struggling with. What space do I need to be to attract an extra $10,000 into my bank account? So what's your take on that, you guys? What is that? What do you think that means?
Yeah, I have a take on that. So if we're talking about like cellular structure and this represents a cell or this represents a cell, this is space and this is space. They're two different kinds of space, right? So what kind of space do I need to be? That's how I think of it, as just an openness. You can be a space that's constricted and tight, or you can be a space that's really wide open. So it's a feeling of spaciousness in my mind. That's how I look at that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
And is that totally new to you?
It's actually pretty new to me, I'd say. But as well, as you're explaining it, the way I interpret that is what state, because there's like a contracted state and an expanded state, and I listen to a lot of Tony Robbins, and he's always talking about changing your state, because in a certain energetic frequency, you're not going to get anything done, and if you feel if you make that choice to step out of one state into another, then you're going to feel much more expanded and have more opportunities to even just see what's in front of you differently.
Right. And one of the things on my run today that I was thinking to myself was I was having this back pain, and I said, what would it take for me to be completely free of this pain? What would it take for me to have my body instantly, joyously, easily release this condition from my body. And then I heard that space, and it's actually the word space that we're talking about, Lisa. Is a state I get, but space was
it's almost like I'm swapping my mind, because I understand one more than the other.
Oh, well, my physical body is a container of space, right? And yes, and you're right about the contracted and expanded, but also it was like, well, what physical space do I need to be to release this? It was sort of like suddenly I literally, this was so cool. As soon as I said that and I tapped into that consciousness of, oh, the physical package, is my hand wrinkly or is it smooth? That's a thing in space, right? So I started doing that. I instantly started feeling a tingling in my back. And for a little bit, it got more intense, which we know can happen, right? When you're releasing energy, sometimes the discomfort gets more intense, and hang with it, because something's shifting, right? And then it was kind of like, so it got a little more intense, the pain increased, and then all of a sudden it just went shh. I was like, wow, that was freaking cool. But it was because I finally got, what does that space word mean? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what Corey Michelle perceives the space word to be. But I love that, because it's true that we have access to everything that we need right here. Another piece of the energy hygiene and the MojoMagic that I talk about with my clients is the knowingness that you are one with everything that ever has existed in all times, realities, and dimensions. So you're one with a dinosaur fart, you're one with, Buddha, Jesus, the Dalai Lama, and you're one with, every billionaire on the planet. So what I do is I do a very cool thing, and it's a little bit of NLP, where I press righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. I talk about that phrase, okay? So left energy is catabolic, is breaking down, pulling out. Right energy, right spinning energy is anabolic, pulling in, creating, right? So it's creation, destruction. So when I am feeling like I don't have the mojo to be a CEO in my business that day, because I'm really up-leveling my business in a big way right now, and it's like, oh, you get a little freaked out. What I do is I press 2 fingers into my left thigh, and I just close my eyes, and I see myself as like a helium balloon, and it's just by pressing 2 fingers into my left thigh, it's like opening the release valve to let that insecurity, that doubt, that fear just and go. And then I take my clients through this whole thing of building their dream team and asking their dream team for support. And we download and embed and anchor into our energy field their dream team's attributes, the new you that, the new you that you need to become to get to the next level in our life. We can't get to the next level of our life because we're missing certain attributes that we need to get there, right? Otherwise, we would have been there. So it's like you got to pull it in. You got to dial that in. So we press 2 fingers onto our right thigh. We anchor it in, and we embody and fill up with the energy of whatever it is we need. So for me, it's kind of cool because I have had a lot of coaches in my day who are just unstoppable. Their confidence is so big that they don't hesitate to do what it takes to get to the next place. So I will close my eyes, I will press 2 fingers into my thigh, and I will instantly fill up with that confidence, that absolute knowingness that they've done it before, they can do it again, right? I've pulled that in, I've anchored that into my body. So that is a very cool thing that you can do to, again, that's an energy hygiene tool. It's like, how did I clear the shit and how did I dial in what I need, the next level of power? And that's a really cool thing. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And that's just a way that I can very quickly, in seconds, I can now press that point on my thigh, having embedded it, gone through the embedding process, and I can instantly access an amazing CEO who's created a billionaire business. And I can, okay, cool. Now I can do what I have to do, because Bambi wasn't quite ready. She wasn't there at all. But I called it. So that's it, just having these simple tricks, and they just take seconds.
Yeah. I do have an anchor thing that I do as well. where if anything's gone really well, and I kind of get that that little adrenaline rush from something wonderful happening, if I just press my fingers into my palm, that's my anchor point of something good happening. So it's like almost like stacking it up every time something happens. Right. And then when I am feeling that kind of sluggish, I just can't be bothered to do anything today, the idea is that I press on this anchor point that has all those stacked up memories of the things that have gone really well and that I have achieved, and that's quite helpful as well. So it's a similar thing but slightly different.
Yeah, I talk about bottling your successes. You know, when you got to capture it, right? You got to really get into it and just go, all right, I got to impregnate this into my brain so that I can recall it again when I'm feeling like shit. I can go to that memory and instantly have all that serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin, all that great stuff flooding into my body. And thank you for that reminder to do an anchor with that, because that's a great thing. What do you do, Tam?
Same thing. I anchor it in. My point is thumb to pinky right there, because this is the meridian that goes to the heart. So I really want to anchor that joy, and I do that first session with my clients right away. Let's anchor it in. What is the good stuff, and then teach them to layer it. So what do we know from this little dialogue? NLP works. Anchoring works. So great success trick.
It's great stuff. So anyway, I'm looking at the time here. I'm going to wrap this up, but ladies, once again, thank you so much for joining me. And I just, the people that watch this replay hopefully are going to get turned on to, there are a lot of tools out there. There's a lot of practitioners out there who have things to share. Check out choosebigchange.com for Tam in the pink room. Check out Lisa Kent, right? Do I have it? I don't have my glasses on. Yes, lisakent.com for the flowered room, and for the brain coach Mojo Master. Check out. I will type that in. Oh, Ruth Curran just joined us. I will type in my website. And also, if you're interested in grabbing a really fast way to get into your mojo, if you go to anxietybreakthroughjumpstart.com. That is my free anxiety breakthrough kit. And it's a 3-minute meditation that will absolutely take your energy from here to really empowered and strong and big. And then there's a 20-minute teaching. Sorry, I can't type. This is where I need to cut and paste that little thing like I taught you guys I did. A teaching audio, 20 minutes, where I teach stoplight anchoring technique, which is a really fast tool to take your energy from to really right here. And then I teach you how to use it and the phraseology of it to be able to amplify the energy of the new you that you need to become. So it might be being prosperous. It might be being confident. It might be being more loving and accepting. It might be being more patient. Whatever it is, it's a tool that you can use for any situation in your life. And it's a great tool to do that. So grab that anxiety. I got to make sure I spelled it right. breakthroughjumpstart.com. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. And girls, you guys got to go out and do your own blabs.
Get my own blab.
We'll give it a go.
Yeah. Have a great day. Take care. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
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 Bye.